How's it going, everyone? Today we're taking a look at a really nice countertop oven from Calphalon. It's their 11 function unit with a built-in air fryer. To me, it's one of the nicest looking units currently available and should complement most kitchens. In this video, we're going to run over operation, check out some of its more advanced functions, measure real usable interior volume, record preheat time, verify temperature accuracy, break out the thermal camera to see how evenly it cooks, look at running amperages, and then finally draw some conclusions. But first, let's see what comes in the box. We've got an air fry rack, the oven itself, a non-stick drip tray, and a general purpose wire rack. Pretty much everything you'd need to get going. Next, I want to give you guys a little operation demo. Basically, hit start here, and the first thing we see is the display. It's a little small, but that's okay. It is very bright, and the text and digits are very crisp. I particularly like the white on black color pattern. Really makes it pop. We have a light switch here that will just turn on the internal light there. Start will engage whatever program you've selected, and then cancel off, well, does exactly what you would think, turns it off. We also have two knobs here that are both very nicely dampened. The top knob controls what mode you're in, and the bottom knob selects either the temperature or the time. Everything has a really nice feel to it. It definitely feels a notch above quality-wise of some cheaper toaster ovens. So I think they did a really good job with this whole menu and button setup. The very first thing I wanted to try was a little dehydration action, so I cut up a couple dozen cherry tomatoes, set the mode to dehydrate, the temp to 135, and the timer for 9 hours and went to bed. The next morning, I awoke to about $1 worth of the sun-dried variety, so totally worth it. Now, one thing that has always bothered me about countertop ovens is how interior volume is advertised. Some manufacturers measure everything behind the door, while others include only the usable space. To me, the true number is this: actual depth front to back, actual width side to side, and height measured from the top of the rack to the bottom of the heating elements. This is the space available for cooking. When measured this way, we get 12 1/8 by 13 1/2 by 4.5 inches. In other words, pretty much exactly what Calphalon advertises, so that's a major thumbs up from me. Next up, I want to test one of this product's headline features, their quartz infrared elements that supposedly heat faster than conventional ones. How much faster? Let's find out. I'm going to place a calibrated thermocouple in the middle of the rack and see how fast we can go from room temp to 300 degrees. Ready? Start. Two minutes and 16 seconds. Pretty quick, right? Just for fun, I ran this same test on my old style, really cheap Oster toaster, and it hit 300 in 2 minutes and 31 seconds. So faster, yes, but much faster? Not really. Continuing on with temperature measurements, and we really can't overstate the importance of accuracy. It's something older ovens always struggled with. People used to say things like, "My oven runs hot or cold," and would then attempt to compensate with adjusted baking times. To see how well this product does in that department, I'm going to once again use the thermocouple. I'm going to set the bake temp to 300 degrees and let it preheat. And 15 minutes later, a quick check of the meter reveals we're sitting at 302 degrees. That means we're only off by 0.6%. I consider this a fantastic performance. Before moving on from baking and roasting in general, I want to point out that unlike some competitors in this price range, the manufacturer does not include a means by which to measure food temperature directly. However, for not a lot of money, we can rectify that and make cooking a lot easier. Here, I've got a wireless thermometer from ThermPro that displays internal food temperature on its own display and transmits that data to your phone. I'll place a link below to this as well as the oven itself. It's an associate link for which the channel will earn a small commission. Use is greatly appreciated. Next up, I want to try out the Calphalon's air fry performance. To do so, I'll use an old standby, the frozen French fry. To be honest, I'm a little concerned here. Most dedicated air fryers have pretty powerful internal fans. This one does not. It's got one, but it doesn't seem all that strong. I'm setting the temp to 400 and the time to 15 minutes per some random internet instructions I found. And here they are. They came out alright, I suppose. However, they do taste a little more baked than fried. Evenly cooked, if you will, instead of the crispy exterior and soft interior you'd normally associate with frying. I'd say performance here is adequate, but definitely inferior to an actual air fryer. Now, one of the biggest concerns any would-be chef has is an appliance's ability to maintain even heat. The last thing we want is a dish that's well done on one side, yet not so done on the other. To test this, I'm going to employ my thermal camera that's sensitive to 0.07 degrees. With this, we'll be able to see if there are any hot or cold spots that we need to be aware of. We'll let this piece of cedar, used to plank salmon, sit for about 15 minutes and then take a look. And I think this is exactly what we want to see. Even heat side to side. Like I mentioned, this is a very sensitive camera, so if any temperature differences would be really obvious. We do, however, see two hot spots here and here, but they're nothing to really worry about. They're dark colored knots in the wood, so it's to be expected they would absorb a bit more heat. Next up, we'll take a look at running amperage. On older homes with maybe only a single 15 amp circuit providing power, we might need to watch out. In any case, this unit will draw just shy of 11 amps or 1,320 watts. This is actually a very reasonable number. I've seen some competitors draw upwards of 14, which to me seems almost too much to ask of a residential outlet. Overall, I'm really pleased with this product. I particularly love its build quality. We've got this big, nice looking handle on top and a premium feeling door with an integrated silicone seal and which closes with a reassuring clink that sounds more like a built-in oven than a horizontal toaster. I also really like that Calphalon went ahead and took the time to place guards over the heating elements. Not all competitors do this. Temperature accuracy is excellent. I don't think you'll get much closer than a degree or two of indicated, no matter how much money you spend. And finally, heat evenness is very good, but to be honest, most quality countertop convection ovens do well here. As far as the not so good goes, I've only got one complaint: air fry performance. The fan just doesn't seem to move enough air to really get the job done. If this is something you plan on doing regularly, and it's a primary concern, I might look elsewhere. Okay, that's all I had for today. Hopefully somebody finds this useful. Take care.